Wow, what's in the box?
As much as we love Universal's monsters here on the Monster Mash, one thing has to be addressed, and that is the lack of color. No, I don't mean the movie's colors, I mean the characters' colors! Sure, we have monsters who are green, brown, pale, but where are all the black movie monsters? And no, Vampire in Brooklyn does not count. It will never count. Thankfully, in the 1970s, we got one through the miracle of Blaxploitation. This wildly popular movie genre saw black actors tired of playing the stereotypical maids and cooks, and fighting back against the powers that be, which even an absurdly white man like myself can appreciate. So after the wild successes of your Shafts and your Superflies, it only made sense for Blaxploitation to collide head-on with the king of the movie monsters, Dracula, and give us 1972's Blacula, the genre's first black movie monster. And this flick's enormous success paved the way for many other black monster movies. Blackenstein, Dr. Black and Mr. Hyde, and my personal favorite,
The Blunch Black of Bloat Your Blame.
Woo! Funky.
Now, all kidding aside, I have to warn you that this flick only has a teeny weeny bit to do with Dracula, and gets his appearance out of the way in the first 5 minutes, as we see the Count being visited in 1780 Transylvania by the regal African prince Mamuwalde, played by William Marshall, long before he ascended from Prince of an African Nation to the King of Cartoons.
Let the cartoon begin.
Mamuwalde wants Dracula to help him suppress the slave trade, but seeing as we know Dracula has no problem with keeping slaves, he refuses, and prevents Mamuwalde from leaving so that he can peck him on the neck, thereby giving him the vampire curse and locking him in a sealed coffin for all eternity.
You shall be Blacula.
Really? You just took your name and added the word black to it? What kind of lazy shit?
You go to sleep now! Cut to 192 years later in 1972, where Mamuwalde's coffin has been purchased and shipped to LA by 2 interior decorators, which for you kids out there was old people speak for offensive gay stereotypes.
Oh, if the fire department could see you now, you should have left, Queen.
Mamuwalde rises from his grave and kills off the 2 men, thereby quenching his centuries-long thirst and making Blacula able to terrorize the streets of LA, despite looking like one of those Woolly Willy toys. Along these streets, he finds a lady by the name of Tina, who just so happens to look an awful lot like his lost love, Luva. And after an awkward first encounter, Mamuwalde soon begins a love affair with her, where he's able to convince her of the whole, I'm a 200-year-old African prince, I like drinking blood, you look like my wife thing, and she's pretty chill about it. But her sister's husband, an FBI pathologist, isn't so chill about it, when he discovers why all these bodies have been dropping all over the city. And soon, a manhunt ensues for Blacula, he kills some cops, he puts his lady love under spell. Look, you know how these vampire movies work, you figure it out. But what puts Blacula a slight step above the rest is the performance of William Marshall, a Shakespearean stage actor who brings far more dignity to this movie than it deserves. It was by his suggestions in pre-production that Blacula became an African prince named Mamuwalde, which gives his character and the entire movie a fascinating angle that's explored not nearly enough. Not to mention that, by God, does he have an awesome voice.
You're so beautiful. Vampires, I think they're possibly the most fascinating of all.
Dr. Thomas, you and your dear friends are dead.
I know you can't see it, but hearing that dialogue just made me drop my pants and find out that I have a suspicious looking wet spot on my underwear. Point is, he's awesome in this movie, which makes it such a shame that the rest of the movie lets him down. It's directed clumsily without much style or flair, and you have to sit through a lot of boring exposition among very boring characters before you reach the good parts. So other than William Marshall, a cool title sequence, and some novelty value in its dated 1970s trappings, there's not terribly much to make this truly essential Blaxploitation viewing. But then again, I have yet to see the sequel to this flick, Scream Blacula Scream, with Pam Grier, and the prospect of Blacula going up against Jackie Brown seems to me, as they say in Blaxploitation, solid. Now be you black or white, we can all agree that no matter what your race, we all love bad movies, and we all love alcohol. Let's then all join together to play the awfully good drinking game!
What do you have?
Make it
Bloody Mary.
Take a shot or drink every time Blacula racks up another kill, whether it be by sucking their neck, or snapping their neck, or just being lazy and throwing barrels at them like Donkey Kong. Another one of Blacula's victims rises from the dead. Yes, black vampires and white men coming together. Truly, Dr. King's vision has come to light. You spot another funky afro. Man, with all these afros, Blacula shouldn't have any problem trying to hide from the cops. The average vampire bat is 3.5 inches. Afros are like double that. Just do the math! Another vampire gets lit on fire. Werewolves may not be scarier when they're set on fire, but vampires are much awesomer when they get set on fire. The movie drops the other, more offensive F-bomb.
2 faggot interior decorators and a lady cab driver. Panthers?
Who the hell would want a dead faggot?
Hey, Danny, take a look at that fag.
Yeah, I think we should cover up this awkward homophobia with another Pee-wee's Playhouse clip.
Hi, Your Highness! How's it going?
And take a double shot for each of the 2 times Blacula turns into a bat. Now that I think about it, vampires really get the short shrift among movie monsters, don't they? Werewolves turn into man-sized wolves, while vampires usually turn into rats with wings that can easily get caught in nets. Out of there! I don't know, just a thought. And on the nudity watch, Blacula has nothing to offer in that department. The closest thing that we get is this sex scene which reveals the terrifying secret behind vampires. Underneath those capes, wife beaters. On the enjoyableness continuum scale from Boulder Bruce, Blacula walks the line between the living and the dead and comes up with a middling 5 out of 10. Hollywood, you have the power to remake this with Idris Elba. I suggest that you use it. I'm Jesse Shade for JoBlo.com, and have your bags packed for next week's Monster Mash, because we're going to the birthplace of movie monsters, Transylvania, along with Jeff Goldblum, Kramer, and Gina Davis's boobs. Until then, stay spooky, my friends.
Joe Blow, he sure likes to drink a lot. Joe Blow won't just movie like the heroine. Joe Blow, he's not just like...
Hey everyone, Jesse Shade here from Awfully Good Movies. Thank you so much for watching. If you want to see me take on more good bad movies, click on any of the links you see here, or subscribe to see this show alongside all the great content that we offer here at JoBlo.com. And remember, I love you. Wait, that sounded wrong. But I do love you though.